welcome to Trend Hoppers, our first episode of Trend Hoppers. How are you, Joe? How's everything going?
Good, good. Thank you. How are you, Captain?
Good, mate. Good, mate. This is our new platform. I think people know us from Gents podcast, but we've got here a new place where we just have a bit of fun, bit of banter, and we call ourselves Trend Hoppers. So there'll be more and more fun, different things, more laid back session. Unlike the more detailed and organized other platforms. But again, welcome to everyone to Trend Hoppers, and wish you enjoy
Awesome.
everything that we do for you. So as you can see, all highlighted there. My name is Captain P. For those who don't know me, and those who know me, Captain P. I've got Joe, my colleague. So let's jump into it. Let's have some fun, some frivolity, and let's enjoy ourselves. So our first topic is the funny one. Old Trafford Man United Stadium leaks. What are your thoughts on that, Joe? On that leaking stadium, as we get the video up, as we share with people. I think that video coming up shortly.
It was just hilarious the way the fans were just watching as everything was being watered down.
Yeah, man, it's a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, you can pull up the video. It's
there we go. The video is up there. It's in the background. It's playing. I've just muted the sound. Big up to Proper Football for this video, which is there. We can play a bit of the sound for a bit.
Look at that.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. A club of the size of Man United. As I said, big up to Proper Football. They put up some funny memes, some funny stuff. You can see the title in their video, Theater of Wet Dreams. But as I said, look, this is epidemic of what's happened at Man United. As a Man United supporter, I can laugh about it, but it's pretty much epidemic, a symptom of what has happened with the club. The club has been in disarray for many, many years. And yeah, that's just the state of the horrible, horrible state of Man United. But anyway, it is what it is. What can we do?
I can see you. Some of these things.
I can see you want to burst out in laughter.
It's one of those things. To me, I'll just take it as an accident or an incident. But do you know if there were any people who were injured or hurt with the incident?
No, there was no incidents. Look, I think the stadium is old now. But again, it just goes back to that lack of investment, which has happened over the years. Look, stadiums leak, things leak, but man, that's pure gushing. Things haven't been maintained and been checked on. I think Cristiano Ronaldo made comments that when he left in 2009, he still saw the same things in 2023, 15 years later. It doesn't make sense for organization that large to keep the same type of things 15 years later without any improvements. And I, even as a Man United fan, I slaughtered him. But seeing that, especially after the loss against Arsenal, was pretty funny. But hey, it is what it is, eh?
Yeah, that was a painful loss there.
No, it was a painful loss. And then what we'll do is we'll move to the next topic. We want to talk about the legacy of Jurgen Klopp. What are your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp? I think this is his last season.
I think it's my team, eh?
Your team.
Uh,
What What are
now,
your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp's
yeah,
legacy?
I think I liked him when he brought Liverpool before is he's saying he's now tired. He's now wanting to spend more time with family.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what he said. He
So
wants to spend. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead, Joe.
but what he did for Liverpool was really amazing because he managed to make it stay afloat and bring it back to the top of the table. After a while, when they were struggling to manage, but he managed to bring them back up. And with him on the helm, we are better than Man U.
Come on, man. It's one trophy in 9 years. You guys make it seem like he won back-to-back trophies. It's just one trophy in 9 years, and it was a COVID year, so no one even remembers. Everyone just remembers COVID that year. If if Arteta, ends up with one Premier League trophy, is the same as Klopp, man. So I think this whole Klopp, he
Yeah,
revived
but
Liverpool.
that's why we are there to remind you guys that we've won the trophy during the
Ah,
COVID year when things were tough. It's in your face, like you know.
look, as I say,
What-
it's one trophy. It's one trophy. And look, congrats to him. I think he won He won the Champions League. So he's won all the trophies which were available to win. But I think his legacy is a bit overrated. At the
Yeah,
end, people were saying, "Oh, Liverpool is going to do the quadruple this season," but that didn't really come to fruition.
yeah. But what I see is he'll go down in the memory, in the history as someone who is made a difference for Liverpool.
Oh,
That's
really?
all you need on your
Made it
legacy.
made a difference.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bit of a strong term. Made a difference. What difference did he make?
Oh, Liverpool was struggling, and when he
I,
came, eh, we did manage to get some cups, yeah,
mm-hmm.
which is something, and you can't take that away from him, even if people think he is overrated, but you can't take that away from him. It's something that you can put on his on his medals to say, yeah, I've done it. Even if it was a lucky shot, he's done it.
Okay. All right. I can tell you're pretty happy with that. But yeah, look, as I said, welcome to Trend Hoppers. Just wanted to introduce ourselves again. As I said, Trend Hoppers, we just go around, we talk about fun stuff, informative. It's like a blooper free reel. Even if we make a mistake, we don't care. We don't really edit things out. Whatever happens, happens. You can call us what can we say? But anything. Wanna be comedians, wanna be news commentators. But again, welcome to Trend Hoppers, and I hope you like it. As you can see on that corner, remember to like, subscribe, and share the channel. As again, Trend Hoppers, you can find us on Twitter or X as they call it, and on YouTube. All right. So I think we wanted to talk about something we found pretty interesting. There was an article we shared together about the 97-1-1 budgeting model. Um, that sounds a bit strange. Joe, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
97-1-1. As we get up the article, we saw this article. We saw this article on Medium. Usually read some articles on Medium there, and we just want to share it. There we go. It pops up there. Says mastering finances. You know, moving to the 97-1-1. We'll try and make it a bit bigger for the viewers. I think there we go. Nice. I think that's come
Yeah.
up.
So with this one, eh, I can sort of relate this to when I was reading this book called eh, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's where I can take some frames of reference from there, because
Mhm.
what this does is no matter how you're doing it hard, you can still manage your budget
Yeah.
in a structured way where you have to make sure that everything has got its place. Like with the
Mhm.
first one, the 97111,
Yeah.
a 97 is for the expenses, right?
Yeah.
Because you're doing it tough, but you
Yeah.
still have to have something for your savings and
Mm.
something for your investments and
Mm.
something to pay down some of your debts. So once you have that drilled in or tattooed in your habits, you can start to improve from there, because 1% will not be painful. Like for example, let's say just for example's sake, you are earning $1,000. What's 1%
Mm.
of $1,000? That's about $10.
Yeah. $10.
So you put $10 away and never look at it.
Mm.
That's your savings.
I
And
think
then
I
you take
think
$10. Go for it.
I think it also alludes to that other book which we read or we commented together about profit first,
Oh,
where
yes.
he talks about profit first. So it's like a profit first model where you can put your 1% into like your profit, your savings, as the Medium article says here, putting it into savings. We'll go back
Mm-hmm.
into that article. 1% for savings, 1% for debt reduction, and then 1% for investments. So, as Joe, you said that if you earn 1,000 a week, you know you're putting $10. Yes, it may be a small amount, but it's about creating the mentality of setting aside something, uh, even if the financial
Yeah.
circumstances are extreme. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like you say, it's creating that mentality or that habit. Once that habit becomes second nature to you, you can start to now snowball it. Now, when you start earning, let's say, for example, 1.5, or when some of your expenses you're managing them, well, you can start to snowball until maybe you get to the 70, the
Mm,
20, and then you can distribute it like that.
yeah. But as I said, yeah, as they said, how do you get to that? Because you put yourself in that financial predicament. How do you get
Yes,
yourself there?
to the 70% expense level, or
Yeah,
to, yes.
yeah,
So there are ways to do that. So you can either reduce your expenses
yeah.
if there are things that you can cut down to, like for example, going to buy brand, things that are not of a good brand,
Mm,
like basic brands
mhm.
or cheaper stuff for you. You've got that. You remember when we were talking the other time when we were saying, was it like 1,000 days of sacrifice?
Or 10 years, 10 years of sacrifice.
10 years of sacrifice, but in this case, let's say 1,000 days, which is 3 years of
Mm,
sacrifice of eating. Like here in Australia, there's a what we call home brand, which is which is the lowest brand of things that you can get in Woolies, right? So if you get home brand for the next 3 years, no fancy brands. If you're getting your joggers or your jumpers, get is it called Anchor, which is the lowest brand in Kmart, and then you use up to 70% of your earnings,
Mm.
and then you can now expand your savings to 10%,
Mhm.
and then your debt reduction to 10%, your investment to 10%. But on the flip side, if you want to maintain the lifestyle, now your second option will be to increase your income potential, your revenue potential. So
But
increasing your
I
income
think let's touch base on that one, on raising your income potential. I think this is where a lot of people, you know, yes, you do say, I'll hold on to the 9711 model, but I think increasing your income potential i-
potential.
is very, very important to raise it
Yeah.
to another level. Then it helps you transition to these places
Yeah.
where they are talking
Yes.
about here.
So how do you avoid the danger of when you raise your income, you raise your expenses?
Oh, sorry, we'll come back to that article. We'll come back to that. No, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, when you raise your income, your expenses also increases because you are now at a higher bracket,
Yeah.
and you want to have things of a higher bracket. When
Mhm.
you were eating home brand, now you want to eat a one-on-one or the big brand stuff.
Okay. Yeah, but as I said, once you've got that implementation model, what I'm saying is that in the 9711 model, right?
Yeah.
Once you've got that perception of
Mhm.
just continually saving, right? Even if your income increases, if you just say, look, let's say your income increases to 10,000,
Yeah.
right? Yes, would recommend people to go to the 70-10-10. But if
Yes.
you're already on the 97-1-1, you're still saving 1% of your $10,000 income,
Yes.
which means you've increased your savings from $10 to, what is it? $100.
So that's $100. Yes. Yeah, but now due to the that theory of diminishing returns, like
Mhm.
on the flip side, we can say diminishing expenditures.
Mm.
So at 10,000, you can no longer spend 9,700 on your groceries, right?
Mm.
If your expenses at 1,000 were $970, if you don't increase your expenses, but your revenue increases, you are left, let's say, for example, you jump from 1,000 to 10,000, and then you maintain your expenses at 750, at 970.
Mm.
Now you've got a 9,000, 9,030 to play with.
To play with. And then now,
Yeah.
that's where good financial management now needs to come in. I'm not disputing what you're saying, that you shouldn't raise your expenses. You still maintain your expenses on that level. Then, of course, now those percentages start to increase. Because here in the article, here they say your expenses should start to increase to a particular level. We'll get that up. I think there's just an issue with the recording, with the sharing of the screen, but we'll get that up. They start to say that you need to increase the percentages from debt. Your debt, maybe whether it was 1%, your debt repayment as a percentage goes up to maybe 5%. And then your savings goes up to 5%. So you always just try and increase those percentages. But for other people, they may want to just see cash in their hand rather than locking them into certain savings account. Other people might want to put cash in their mattress. What do you do with those people?
So that's where you need that habitual change, where you can lock up the emergency funds, right, on the side, and then only have enough cash for your day-to-day stuff, rather than holding loads of cash. You don't use that cash, right? If you're not using it, why not saving it to get a bit of interest on it? Or why not invest in it in things that are quite stable? If you
Now
are scared of losing, you can invest in gold.
you've taken the words out of my mouth. Because you can invest in index stocks. There's no guarantee those index stocks. Yes, there might be a track record. Big up to Minority Mindset, who was talking about these ETFs to say in the last 10 previous history does not indicate what's going to happen in the future, right? So what guarantee do people have to say, if I put my money in a particular fund or particular bank, we won't have a 2008 crisis? I would rather keep my cash. Then obviously you've got people, advisors, people who are loudmouths, who says that keeping cash, you're losing the value for your money. But I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Because
I'm in
if
that camp.
if whatever happens in the global economy happens and you don't have cash, those who've got cash had more of an advantage than guys who play in the stock market.
Yeah.
So now, instead of having, we'll pull this up on the screen. Instead of having a 9711 model, we were thinking, or I was thinking, all right, why don't you have that? Right.
Yeah. And then the other 1% will be emergency fund. What
So
will be
other
the other one?
1%, number one, not getting spiritual or whatever. I think Jim Rohn even explained. There's a video. We'll share that in the comment section, in the description. Jim Rohn spoke about that. You need to have 1% of giving. You have to learn to give somewhere, right? So rather than saying 9711, or one goes to savings, one goes to debt, one goes to investment, why don't you have a percent to give, whether it's to charity, to give to your local church, whether it's church or your local mosque? You give your 1%. Your other 1% is cash, just a cash reserve where you can keep it in your safe, keep it in your wallet. You've got cash in hand
mattress.
under the mattress. Then you've got 1% for savings, 1% for debt reduction, 1% for. And then with time, you're using this. A bit of a technical glitch. We apologize there, folks, for the technical glitch. We're now enjoying ourselves.
It comes with the foundations. Those are some of the things that we're going to improve over time. Yeah.
Yes, we will definitely improve on that. Apologies for that technical interruption. As we were saying that these will end up increasing to a 50, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I think when you get to that stage where 50% of your income just covers all your expenses, right? You are now at a point of, what can we say, self-actualization. You are now living in surplus. Money is not an issue, because all these can just end up going 10, 10, 10. And then there won't be any debt reduction. This 10% is actually, you can buy other stock, like where you were talking about gold, Joe. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we can put up, as I said, the model idea. Is here talking.
So
Model.
instead of we can put the 10% and include the 10% if there is no longer any debt reduction. We can put that 10% into savings, and then we can save it in form of commodities.
As commodities.
It's less liquid, but it's still savings.
It's still savings.
Yeah.
So I believe this model is a model which gives you the impetus. You've got your cash reserves. If you want to have some cash, you've got a savings account where you forget about it. You've got a giving where you can give for those who believe in the heart of giving. You're not obliged. You can either have your 9611 if you don't care about giving. You can have that one. You can have that. Oh, we'll talk to our editor who's editing. They missed another one at the end there.
Do we need to edit? It's good for people to see that we are human beings.
So you've got your 9611. So 96, all your expenses, savings if you don't want to give. So there are many ways you can play around with it. But I believe what Joe alluded, they're building to keep thy earnings. And whether it takes a year, you end up seeing in a year, if you earn weekly, whether it's $10 times 52, at least you've saved something. You haven't been able to do it.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who find it very hard to form a habit, who are like drifters, who drift from one model to another model? The next time you're going into your investments and withdrawing them for an emergency, and the next time you're withdrawing all your savings, is there any way to automate this?
I think it's just the sacrifice. You just have to sacrifice. Don't think about reputation, what other people think. It's number one is sacrificing, but I think this model does not put too much pressure on one person. 3% of your total income will not kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds strange.
If 3% is too much, then it means there is something wrong. You need to elevate your income potential.
You need to elevate your income potential. And then there are also other means of things where you have to engage. There are these type of Excel spreadsheets where you have to get that there. Just making that bigger for people to see, where you can start to put in your personal expenses. I think there was a session where me and Joe conducted this, and I think we just ended up
shocked.
We were shocked, and I think we ended up just saying good night to each other, and just saying, "Hey, we'll talk later."
Yeah, I think you know what, it's a very good habit for anyone to regularly do their own budget, and these are free tools, right? So you can go in and actually put in what you're spending for your groceries, what you're spending for your telephone bills, what you're spending for your fuel, and what you are spending for your savings, and then you save that budget, and then you can create what do you call that budget? Is it zero budget? Zero, what do you call it? The type of budget where you start from scratch. You start with everything imaginary. I'm expecting to spend this much. I'm expecting to save this much. I'm expecting to save this much, and see
Mm.
what kind of income you need to be able to have that saving and spending model.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you say you want to spend $1,000 on your groceries, 500 on your savings, 500 on your debts, and then 500 on your emergency fund, and 500 on giving, then you have to be able to make at least 3,000 a month to be able to
Yeah.
afford to do that.
Mm. 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 Yeah, man. It's a it's a very
That budget
interesting topic.
eye opener.
That budget is an eye opener. As I said, it puts you in a position where you're wondering how you are managing as an individual.
I heard your statement before you finished it.
To put it fucking lightly, how you're fucking managing in it.
It's
Again,
it's hard. Like I,
yeah,
let's
go
be
ahead, Joe.
honest.
Yeah.
It's hard with the expenses, like with the cost of living at the moment.
Mhm.
I'm trying to imagine how people are surviving
Yeah.
with the cost of living. Like for rent, if rent at the moment, rent can be more than 40% to 60% of your total
Income.
fortnightly paycheck.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Look, let's be very
how?
honest. Let's hammer on that one in terms of cost of
Yeah.
living, right? We recently had the that Australian budget. We're still talking about this whole budgeting thing, so we can talk about the national budget. I think let's get the article up about how in the national budget, right? They're talking about relieving cost of living pressures, but they give individuals, even billionaires, $300 for energy rebate. That's less than $1 a day. How much do you use a day for electricity?
uh, the
So that's what I'm saying.
you've got a
That's what,
bill like $600 for the whole quarter, and
Mhm.
$300 doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. And anyway, that's why we love trend hoppers. We will just jump into everything. As I said, let's search up that article about the Australian budget. Whilst you're talking, Joe,
Yeah.
how they're
So
sharing.
I think the other thing that was weird was, no matter how rich you are, you will still be getting that $350. So everyone across the board gets the same.
Yeah. We
And
can
my
share this.
question was, for someone who's as rich as Clive Palmer, why do you need the $350?
There we go.
$325. Why would you need that with billions of dollars under your
Hmm.
belt?
That's my question. So every person gets $300, and they say that they want to reduce inflationary pressure. All right, it's not coming in your hand. You're not spending it. It's going to the energy providers. Right? There's that rent relief.
Mhm,
They are throwing money into the economy.
mhm.
Right?
That's
That's
inflationary.
that's inflationary,
Mhm,
and they are hoping that the RBA or the Reserve Bank will cut interest rates. They won't really cut interest rates. Right. So again, it goes back to that cost of living pressure. How are people surviving?
mhm.
That's why this article in Medium by Trends Only of the 9711 model is maybe the way people have to go. People were always used to the old budgeting models of budget 50, 30, 20. How are
Yeah.
people going to do that when 50% of your income is already going to rent? What are you going to eat?
Yeah. And if you've got a mortgage, you're even doing it tougher
Mm.
because with the interest rates going up, on a standard or median mortgage,
Mm.
it went up more than twice, which means people are and they are submerged underwater at the moment.
Mm. People people were back on the screen of that article about gradually
Yeah.
adjusting budget percentages. But if if you're already paying 50% towards rent, you haven't spoken about electricity, you haven't spoken about food, you haven't spoken about it. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
man.
So my advice here is for people to read that book, The Richest Man of Babylon, where you have to sacrifice everything and only making sure that 97% is all you can spend. And make sure the 1111 goes into where it's designated to go and
Yeah.
ignore the rest.
There we go.
If
Richest
you
man in
owe people
Babylon.
money, if you, that's the one. If you owe people money, talk to them. Say, instead of me paying you back your $500, I'm gonna give you $10 a fortnight.
Mm. And another book,
Alternatively, yeah,
and another good book
go
as
for
you're
it.
talking, Joe, is that one.
No, this one it brought me down to the knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is really good. And if you want to get into business, this is the book that you need to read before you get anything started.
Yep. So, as I said, you can find the article we're talking about on medium.com under trends only. You can just search the title, Mastering Your Finances, transitioning from the 9711 budgeting model to the 70-10-10. I think 70-10-10 is achievable. I think it's just scaling down some of the food options. I think it's just food at the end of the day. You go and chuck a shit in the morning, eh? So you just go and buy some good
Yeah,
veggies and good meat. You don't have to buy Twinkies. You don't have to buy lollies. You don't have to buy fizzy drink. You can have water, good veggies, good
yeah,
meat, everything, So I think
yeah, and minimize takeout.
minimize takeout, eat at home, cook. So I think these are some who don't listen to those other wankers. What are those alpha guys? I don't cook. I just buy Uber Eats. Those don't s- don't, don't listen to those bloody wankers. So yeah, man, that was a good discussion, brother. Before we
Yeah,
wrap up,
fantastic. Thank you so much, Captain. Yeah.
yeah, brother. Yeah, before we wrap up, let's talk about some news which just came out recently. Video by CNN, a story about Sean P. Diddy Combs. I don't think after this, his legacy will ever be the same. I don't think he will ever be the same. We'll share that. We'll get our team to share that on the screen, making sure they've got the right thing to share there. We're just sending it to them. All right, we'll share that and then we'll. All right. So this is courtesy of news.com.au. So it's a disturbing video of Sean Diddy Combs assaulting girlfriend. Uh, and then I think we'll play it again.
Yeah, in the hallway there. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it
Hopefully
was
that's
it was
coming.
on news.com.au, right?
Yeah. Look at him running in a towel, naked. Viewer discretion advised.
How long ago was this? Jeez. How long ago was this incident? Jeez. Look at
In
that.
2016.
Jeez. Man.
Yeah, so
Yeah, no, his reputation has gone down the drain now.
yeah. Yeah. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. What an absolute shame.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm at loss of words.
Yeah, he's a disgrace to all man.
Yeah, it's a disgrace on about what they yeah. I think we will try and get that video back up for people to see.
I've never seen you run out of words, Captain. This one,
yeah, it's
look, caught you off that. Yeah.
Hey, it's a horrible scene, especially for a father with daughters. I think courtesy is news.com, and it was on CNN. I think CNN is the one which broke. We're trying to get that up, trying to play back again. Disclaimer: not suitable for viewers if they can get offended. But again, you can see some of the photos there. Look at him dragging her, pushing her on some of the images, and yeah, funny enough, if you see when she put this claim in Casey or Cassie, her name, settlement was done within 24 hours. So you pretty much understand.
More to cover up, you know.
You pretty much understand the reason. You pretty much understand why settlement was done that quickly. If you look at that, we're just our technical team is trying to get that video back up. I think they will reload it and we'll get it up, and then we can wrap up the show, the first show of Trend Hoppers. But again, it's disappointing. Fellow black celebrities or fellow black people shooting themselves in the foot. You wonder how this footage was kept silent for 8 years. That's when you get those conspiracy theories of how some of these people are really in the top of the industry and they do something, and you're brought back to the his life will never be the same. All the endorsements, all the flashy lifestyle he's offering.
I think all these things are coming out because they want to now expose him and drag him down. I don't know whom he has pissed off, because the handlers managed to put this under the carpet for too long. Now it's coming out. That's almost 8 years ago.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't get the
coming
video
out.
back up.
It means, yeah. Anyway,
Joe, thank you so much for a fantastic first session of Trend Hoppers. We'll get more and more guests to join us. We'll have a bit of fun. All right, everyone, thank you. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on YouTube, Trend Hoppers. It's all about fun, being informative. And again, we welcome you to Trend Hoppers. Thank you very much. Have a good week. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Trend Hoppers.